Enzo Recto, kalaban ang katiwalian at kasinungalingan, kakampi sa katotohanan at kabutihan.
Mahigit 10 bilyon na pundo ng Office of the President inaprobahan sa loob lang ng 10 minuto sa Senado. Tila baga, hindi nabusisi ng maayos ang pundo ng opisina ng Pangulo. Bakit? Dapat maging patas sana ang nasa lehistratora na hindi lang ang ibang budget ng ibang ahensya ang binubusisi pati dapat ang budget ng Presidente bago muna yung Senado, mabilis rin na naaprobahan ito sa Kamara. Halina't panoorin po natin itong balita.
Pasado na sa committee level sa Kamara panukalang pondo ng Office of the President para sa susunod na taon. Pero bago nakalusot, inalmahan ng ilang mambabatas ang umano'y special treatment sa Presidente at sa bilyong-bilyong pisong intelligence at confidential fund ng kanyang opisina. Nasa frontline ng balitang yan si Marian Enriquez.
Sa ikatlong sunod na pagkakataon, walang kahirap-hirap na pumasa sa House Committee on Appropriations ang hinihinging 10.5 billion pesos na pondo ng Office of the President para sa 2025. Ilang minuto lang matapos ipresenta ang breakdown ng budget, nagmosyon agad ang mga kongresista na tapusin na ang deliberasyon bilang tradisyon ng parliamentary courtesy sa Pangulo. Bagay na inalmahan naman ng makabayang bloc na gusto pang busisiin ang budget.
I move that we terminate the budget hearing of the Office of the President.
Is there a second
I
to the
object,
motion?
Mr. Chair,
Is there
let me
any
explain the
objection?
objection. I object, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Hamon ni Kabataan Party List Representative Raul Manuel, dapat patunayan ng komite na hindi sila namumulitika. Una na ring itinanggi ni PBBM na pinulitika ng mga mambabata si Vice President Sara Duterte nang i-defer nila ang budget hearing ng Office of the Vice President. Kaya kung bibigyan ng special treatment ang opisina ng Pangulo, pinutunayan lang daw nito ang akusasyon ni VP Sara.
Pinapalabas natin na nagsisinungaling yung mismong presidente by evading the process of Congress na mag-undergo ng scrutiny, Mr.
Please
Chair.
take back your statement na nagsisinungaling yung presidente.
No, Mr. Chair, that would depend on the decision of this committee. Kasi on record yun, Mr. Chair, sinabi yun ng presidente, Mr. Chair.
Sa huli, hindi pa rin napigilan ng makabayang bloc ang pag-terminate sa budget hearing. Sa botong 51-3, natapos agad ang deliberasyon ng komite. Pero binigyan naman ng ilang minutong pagkakataon para magsalita ang makabayang bloc. Dito pinuna nila ang mahigit 4.5 billion pesos sa budget ng presidente na nakalaan na naman sa confidential at intelligence funds.
So hindi po ito dapat dahil hindi naman po ito yung yung trabaho mandato ng ating presidente or Office of the President.
Sinita rin nila ang lumulobong unprogrammed funds o yung mga standby project na naghihintay lang ng available na pondo.
Pork or presidential pork po ito. This is about transparency and accountability. The Office of the President or every other agency is not exempted.
Yan po mga kabunyog na panood po natin kung gaano kabilis din inaprobahan ang budget ng Pangulo sa Kamara at 3 lang ang kumontra sa panukalang hindi na pag-usapan ang budget ng Presidente. Tila baga hindi maganda itong sinasabi nilang tradisyon ng lehistratora na palampasin na ang pagbusisi ng budget ng Pangulo, dapat maging patas sana. Dahil pera yan ng taong bayan, dapat mahimay at malaman talaga kung saan ito mapupunta. Ngayon panoorin naman natin ang mabilis din na pag-aproba ng budget ng Presidente sa Senado. Panoorin po natin ito.
Asher, gaano kabilis inaprubahan ng mga senador ang budget ng Office of the President?
Aga wala pang 10 minuto ay naprubahan na sa pagdinig ng Senado ang panukalang budget ng Office of the President para sa taong 2025. Ito ay sa ilalim ng Committee on Finance kung saan chairperson si Senador Grace Poe. Sa budget presentation ng Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, inihayag nito na umaabot ng 10,506,210,000 pesos ang proposed 2025 budget ng opisina ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Mas mababa ito ng 1.88% kaysa sa budget para sa fiscal year 2024. Sa kabila nito, tiniyak naman ni Bersamin na hindi ito makaapekto sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo ng Pangulo sa mamamayang Pilipino. Unang nag-move upang i-terminate ang briefing para sa budget ng Office of the President si Senate Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada na sinugunduhan naman ni Senador Nancy Binay. Bago tuluyang magtapos ang budget hearing ay kinilala at nagpahayag ng pasasalamat si Senador Grace Poe sa ilang ahensya sa ilalim ng Pangulo. Kabilang na rito ang Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission o PAOC, partikular na sa mga aksyon nito laban sa operasyon ng Philippine Offshore Gaming Operator o POGO at ang bagong binuo na Presidential Office for Child Protection na ani Senador Poe ay napapanahon para sa proteksyon sa mga bata na pinakamahina sa sosyedad. Pagkatapos ng pahayag ni Senador Poe, ay agad rin na itong inaprubahan ang pagtataas sa plenaryo para sa 2025 budget ng Office of the President.
Budget of the Office of the President is now called to order. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin. Good morning, sir. And of course, the OP team. And for orderly procedure, we will first ask the Office of the President to present their budget, after which we will open the floor for questions, beginning, of course, with the leadership. And then in order of arrival, may I ask the committee secretary to please read the names of our resource persons present.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Your Honors, and to all our guests. Allow me to introduce our resource persons present in today's budget briefing. From the Office of the President, Executive Secretary Lucas P. Bersamin, Deputy Executive Secretary Annalisa G. Logan, Deputy Executive Secretary Amante A. Liberato, Deputy Executive Secretary Alexander Flores, Undersecretary Al-Azri Muhammad Sali, Assistant Executive Secretary Cynthia A. Vergara, Assistant Executive Secretary Neil Vincent Bainto, Assistant Secretary Gabriel Lorenzo Ignacio, and Executive Director Ernesto C. Torres Jr. We also have representatives from the Commission on Audit, Supervising Auditor Joey I. Bernardino, and from the DBM, Acting Director Tulu Vispo. That is all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. May we ask now the OP to do their presentation, should you have any?
May I read an opening statement?
Yes, of course, Executive Secretary. Go ahead, please.
Madam Chair and the honorable members of this committee, the Office of the President is privileged to present, explain, and seek your support for our proposed budget for fiscal year 2025. More than the need to comply with the legal requirement to present our proposed budget before a co-equal branch upon which the power to appropriate is conferred by the Constitution, our presence here manifests the President's commitment to work closely with the Senate in upholding our mutual objective of promoting the welfare of our people and the country's national interests. Your Honors, the President values the cooperation between our branches in the fulfillment of our common goal of development. Thus, the Office of the President will fully cooperate with the Congress in its exercise of its constitutional mandate as the keeper of the purse. For fiscal year 2025, the Office of the President requests a budget of 10,506,201,000 to perform its mandate for the people. While this amount is 1.88% lower than the budget of the Office of the President in fiscal year 2024 and represents a mere 0.19% of the proposed total national budget for fiscal year 2025, we believe that the amount will be enough for the President to meet the exacting demands of being the head of state and of government, the chief architect of Philippine foreign policy, and the commander-in-chief. Despite the reduction in the budget being proposed, rest assured, Your Honors, that the same will not affect the delivery of services of the President to our people. The presidential activities that are geared towards the provision of effective and efficient services, as well as the provision of responsive executive policy directions on matters affecting the development of the country, domestically and internationally, will still be constant and regular. Mindful of the need to fulfill the President's constitutional mandate with less financial requirement in support of the Bagong Pilipinas brand of governance, these presidential activities will, however, be conducted and held prudently and economically. The budget adjustment will still be able to sufficiently accommodate the logistical requirements of honoring invitations from foreign leaders to visit their countries, as well as to carry out diplomatic initiatives which would yield job-creating investments that will hasten support to our post-pandemic economic recovery. The budget proposal will also sufficiently support the implementation of necessary infrastructure works within the palace complex that have stalled due to the pandemic in furtherance of the Build Better More priority program of the President, as well as to safeguard the overall security of all those who work hard for the attainment of the objectives of the presidency, taking into consideration the Philippine Green Building Code, the Fire Code of the Philippines, the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act, and the protection of heritage and cultural buildings. These projects are all implementation ready and shall be completed within the fiscal year in accordance with the cash-based budgeting policy. Your Honors, before we present the charts that explain our proposed budget in detail, let me just point out that as in the previous years, we crafted this budget within the parameters and process set by the Department of Budget and Management. Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you, Executive Secretary. I note that actually there is a decrease in the budget of the Office of the President, and there are certain, actually some changes. There are positions that were created, a lower budget for travel utilization, etc. Are there any questions from the...
Can I just give an opening statement, Madam Chair? Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Madam Chair, and to all our colleagues in the Committee on Finance. We would like to inform the officials. We would like to welcome the officials and the employees of the Office of the President, especially our one of the brilliant minds in Malacanang, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin. The 2025 budget that will be allocated to the Office of the President is very crucial because this represents midterm budget that will help the President to effectively continue the programs that his administration has initiated. Halfway towards the culmination of his term, the President should be provided with budget that will enable us to achieve our goals, particularly those asserted in the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028. Maraming mga gandang programa ang simulan ng ating Pangulo para sa pagpapaunlad ng ating ekonomiya, agrikultura, kabuhayan, kalusugan at edukasyon. Nakikita natin ang mga buting inahatid ng mga ito sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa mga higit na nangangailangan. Marapat lamang na ipagpatuloy ang masigasig na pagpapatupad ng mga ito at ang masusing pangangasiwa at koordinasyon ng iba't ibang kagawaran ng pamahalaan. Ang lahat nito ay nakasalalay sa responsableng pagkumpas at pagtitimo ng ating Pangulo at ng kanyang tanggapan. Madam Chair, despite the reduction in next year's post-budget, the Office of the President commits to remain steadfast in delivering its mandate to the Filipino people. In turn, it is our duty to support this commitment by approving the budget that will be the instrument for achieving our national goals. We trust in the transparent and accountable stewardship of public funds by the Office of the President. In the spirit of extending parliamentary courtesy to the head of a co-equal branch of the government, I move that we terminate the briefing on the proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the President and that it be deemed submitted to plenary. I so move, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I second the motion of our Senate Pro Tem.
before we close the budget, I would just like to acknowledge and thank also the OP. There are certain agencies under them, like the PAOCC, that has actually helped in the anti-crime initiatives, particularly with the POGO issue. And also now that the creation of, the President has created the new Presidential Office for Child Protection. And I think it's high time for that. And many of us are very grateful to protect our children, the most vulnerable in society. So thank you to the Office of the President and also to our Executive Secretary. And with that, I move that the budget of the Office of the President be deemed submitted. This briefing is now suspended. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members.
Yan po mga kabunyog na panood po natin na sa loob lang ng 10 minuto ay naaprobahan ng mabilis ang budget ng presidente. Ang masasabi po natin dito, dapat talaga tanggalin na ang sinasabi nilang tradisyon na ito na dapat palagpasin na ang budget ng Pangulo. Hindi po ito tama. Dapat maging transparent po tayo. Ang mali, wag i-tolerate. Dahil dapat maging malinaw sa ating mamamayan kung saan napupunta ang kaba ng ating bayan.
May kulanong salita na ang ibig sabihin dito ay ang pagkakaisa.
Bunyog Party List.
Halika na, Bunyog Party List ka na. Halika na, Bunyog Party List ka na.
Sa susunod, ang atinang suportahan, Bunyog Party List, nagtataguyod ng katotohanan, lumalaban para sa bayan.